board for the American Health Information Management Association. I'm also one of their past presidents of the AHIMA board, which is the C6 side of the house. I'm also involved in my sorority. I'm an AKA, very proud to be an AKA. And Alpha Kappa Alpha, for those that don't know what AKA stands for. But so I do volunteer work there also. I've been the co-chair of the breast cancer awareness and prevention campaign. As you can imagine, that's near and dear to my heart. Wow, Nisa, I don't know if I've covered everything, but I think that's probably enough.
So tell us, I know in regard to the position you hold in the American Cancer Association, you have also, become a runner, also, an avid workout queen. You work out frequently, if not daily. So just tell us about what that does for you, what it means to you, what your experience has been in terms of becoming a runner and the goals that were set. It's kind of some of those things that you and Dee shared together and how she gives you that drive. So just talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I've always been a person that had exercise as part of my life, even just as far back as I can remember, starting probably, my gosh, in middle school. Okay. Back then they called it junior high. So I've always been involved in some type of, I call it natural movement. Um, so I guess it was 2016, I ran a half marathon, and that was tough. But that had always been a desire of mine, and I just decided I was going to do it. And once I always walked, and I don't call myself a runner, I'm a jogger.
Mhm.
And then I can power walk really, really fast, right? So I do exercise every single day, some form. It doesn't have to be intense, but it's movement. It's one way that I take care of myself. That's how I deal with my stress. And I can tell you, as Dee was going through her journey, because she was diagnosed in 2012, 4 years after I had been through my battle with breast cancer. And what was interesting about the whole thing, when she would be in the hospital, I would be pacing. And so I felt like a caged animal because there was nothing I could do but pray, right?
Mhm.
And so I really started running then. If she was ill or having an episode or whatever, that was my way of getting it out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would just be pacing. And so through that journey, I started running more and more uh, just to deal with the situation, get clarity in my mind. That's when I talk to God.
Yeah.
That's when some people get text messages from me because God puts them on my heart, and I have to send them a message at that time. And I do that pretty frequent. So I'll quit running and I'll do a text real quick and then I'll start back out. And I know Dr. Jenkins has gotten messages from me just out of the blue.
Yes.
And that's just kind of what I do. And that's part of my purpose. And I always try to allow God to use me.
Yes. I love that. I love that, Diann. And I know at the same time that you're doing all of that, you did say that you were vice president level, but what does it feel like to sit in the C-suite? For those women who are on today who aspire to sit in the C-suite, who aspire to get to that level, just talk to us about what that's like for a woman like yourself.
Mhm.
And then, what's a day-to-day like? How do you manage that schedule?
Well, I tell you, in this pandemic, everything certainly has changed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I tell you, it's one of those goals that I had for myself. I am always thinking, not just thinking, but I have a vision for my life. And part of that vision is living within the purpose that God has provided for me and leaning into that. and having the confidence that you can bring value, you can bring impact, and it's not about me, but how do I show up and how do I advocate for employees? How do I advocate for resources?
Mhm.
How do I collaborate and partner with different individuals? But I always tell individuals that I mentor, and I guess I did forget that piece because I've mentored a lot of individuals over the time, over the years. Um, People are near and dear to my heart, and I want them to be the best that they can be. And so being in the C suite really is about collaborating and making greater impact. Um, you have to build relationships, and people need to know they can count on you. It
Yes.
doesn't matter what the problem is, you're coming to the table with solutions and ideas and how the two of you can accomplish a goal. You know, sometimes relationships may start out with conflict, uh, but they don't have to stay there.
Yes.
You have to have a conversation with that individual. If you both are trying to get the same outcome, right? You first of all, you need to leave your ego at the door, okay? And a lot of people have trouble with that sometimes. But then you come in and you say, we both want the same outcome. We both want to be successful. It's about what's best for the organization, it's what's best for our employees, and that's how you show up in the executive suite or any leadership role for that matter.
Yes, yes, excellent. You talked about building relationships, and this is one thing that I know about you is that it is a gift. The way that you draw people, the level of concern that you show for them, and this is just even when I've seen you in a room of thousands, there's a way that you have moved about. There's a way that you have made everyone feel special. So talk to me about that gift that you have for being able to recognize people and draw people, even in the roles, because you've been actually the president of the American Health Information Management Association, which is about 100,000 members, depending upon what capacity they move in. So just talk to us about that a little bit, Diann.
You have to be a great listener, first of all, okay?
Mhm.
And not just that, but I think one of the things, a strength of mine, I know, is transparency.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's telling people what they really don't want to hear, but you do it in a very compassionate manner. You want to engage with individuals. Um, y- People want to be listened to, right?
Yes.
And it's not about me, the person. It's about what are their concerns. Okay, how can I help you? Um, and not just that, but giving of yourself. Okay, having compassion, being true to who you are at the core, and that can come through to individuals. Um, and it's just, I mean, it's just part of who I am.
Mhm.
You have to have the self confidence that when people are bringing concerns to you, it doesn't really matter. And if you've messed up, because we all make mistakes, you own it, okay? And there have been times in my life when I can't believe I said that. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
That's not that's not that's not godlike. That's not Christ-like, right? I will go back to that individual, even though they may not have thought anything about it, but I know that's not how I want to show up.
Yeah.
And so I'll go back and apologize and say, I'm not making excuses for my behavior or becoming emotional or whatever. Uh, and I will apologize and say, this is what was going on. This is not an excuse, but this is not who I really am. And I will ask for your forgiveness.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that is so easy to do. It is so easy to just ask people to help. People want to help, okay?
Yeah.
And but then the other thing is you have to follow through, you have to follow up, and you have to be authentic. And that's one of my other core principles is being authentic.
Yes, yes. So this is the thing. I got to tell the world that I have watched you in a board meeting of about 25 to 30 people, maybe more. I had the privilege of being a guest there in the capacity that I was in. And you know, the thing that I admired, Diann, was the way you moved about that room from your position as president and how you um, strategically move through the meeting. You know, there was some highs and low points, and so how you would bring us in. In fact, you know, you weren't as impressed. I won't name the board meeting. You weren't as impressed with some of the guests who was kind of facilitating some things, and how you would just, you know, come back in and refocus the group and make us think about things from a different perspective without shutting down what was actually there and going on, but just, you know, helping us see things from a different perspective and then respecting everybody in the room and what their thoughts and opinions were. So just talk to me about where that comes from. Where does the ability to strategically move about the room, recognizing all of the strengths that you have in the room? And I'll stop there because I know I can ask 50 questions in one. So I'll let you deal with that boardroom ability for me.
I recall that meeting. Yes, I definitely recall that meeting. And we don't need to name it.
Right.
But I tell you, one of the things as board chair, okay, is making sure everyone's voice is part of the conversation and drawing them in. I see myself as the facilitator, right? And so you're going to have different types of individuals, some that easily, you know, will share. You'll have some that are quiet, and then sometimes there's, as you said, it ebbs and flows. There may be
Yeah.
some conflict or whatever. And how do you refocus people? Um, but as the facilitator, I don't see myself as having an opinion, okay?
Okay.
Because I want the outcome to be something that the group collectively can get behind and support. And so sometimes I will actually call on individuals if they're too quiet. But I always give them a heads up, okay? And sometimes I will talk to them one on one and just say, you know, I value your opinion, I value your thoughts, and I would like for you to share. And if you don't, I'm going to call on you because I think what you have to say is important, and the rest of the group needs to hear it.
Yes.
Okay, I always I'm always in this space of when you're running a board meeting or head of a group, I personally do not like groupthink. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't like everybody just saying, oh, yeah, just check the box. No, we're not going to do that. We're really going to have some real dialogue. I expect you to ask the hard questions. And I expect, because it moves the group to a higher level, right? If you
Yeah.
have a vision for an outcome, you're not going to get there by everybody just saying, oh, yeah, that sounds good, and let's just move on. No, if someone has any idea they're not comfortable, I want to hear from them because, and I think it's a certain level of respect that comes with that. And it's always a safe zone within that room. And giving people permission to disagree is just as important as getting, you know, having people say, oh, yeah, we agree. Let's get there. And if we have someone that's not comfortable, we need to continue the conversation.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. So, as I'm thinking, I know that some of the tips you are sharing right now are part of your new leadership program. So, let talk to us about your leadership program or school that's going to be starting soon. Tell us a little bit about it, and you know, in telling us about the school, tell us why you want to do it. What is it that makes you determined to do it? And I know you're determined because you're like my coach, my mentor, my friend Marilyn. You guys get an idea, and next thing I know, it's moving forward. So I want to know, what is it? What is it that drives that passion?
Okay. What Dr. Jenkins is talking about, I've had a vision for a number of years, um, about making greater impact, because I have been mentoring individuals 20 plus years, and to help them realize what their strength is and gain the confidence to go to that next level. And so, with that, I said, how can I make greater impact? And so, about over a year ago, before the pandemic happened, I was meeting with the individual, and they gave me this idea of a mastermind. And that way, I could have a group, and I can make greater impact rather than just one on one all the time. There is such a need for leaders that want to, one, uh, go from a director to an executive, or even from a manager to a director. And over the years, as I've helped individuals, what I realized, I would have these aha moments, right? But no one would tell me these things. And so I had this idea of, how do I get people there faster? How can I help them attain their career aspirations faster? And so the experience itself brings a lot of value, because it's not something that I learned in a textbook in school, right? It's
Mhm.
something that I have experienced, and
Yes.
I can share that in a larger setting than just one on one. One on ones are great, and I've developed some fantastic relationships, but
Mhm.
how do you make greater impact?
Uh-huh.
So let's say the COVID has happened. Just before it happened, I had purchased a course to take me through, how do you set up a mastermind, that type of thing.
Mhm.
And then I had to put it on hold. Well, over the summer, as this thing has continued, I've actually I put together a 12-week course, and I'm planning to launch in December the 5th. I've put it out there in the universe, right? And I'm going to have 10 seats. That's all I'm going to have. And we're going to have a great time. Not just have a great time, but I'm going to help individuals focus, identify what their strengths are, and how do they set goals for themselves. And then how do they build a tribe to support them? That's the other thing. You have to have positive energy around you. I don't care what you're doing. If
Mhm.
negativity is there, I don't personally, I don't stay in that space.
Yeah.
I figure it out really, really quickly. And so you need to have people that will support you. You need to have people that will hold you accountable. And I have that in my life. Let me tell you, I have that in my life, because I will say yes, but when I say yes, I'm always going to follow through.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I just want to go to some of the comments just so you can hear what folks are saying. I have to. Marilyn's on the line with us, and she says she's one of the 10. Okay, so Marilyn, Marilyn Pettigrew. So write her name down, Diane.
Okay.
And then we've got some great comments going on Facebook. Um, Marletta said exactly, experience is invaluable. Some other things, this is true leadership, and authenticity is so important. So, you hear just from the group that's on right now, how you the impact that you have. And I know that you want to make an impact and have made such an impact. Oh my goodness. I don't think that I've ever attended a conference that there wasn't people trying to get to you. Trying to talk to you, have a conversation with you. And so, in your leadership um, program that you're starting, tell us, in doing that, what is it that you most want to see as the outcome? What
Okay.
yeah.
You know, the outcome for me, and what really makes me excited about it, is to see the transformation of the individual, right?
Hmm.
It's not about me ever. And I think, wow, just knowing that I had just a little bit of something to do with it
Uh-huh.
brings me great joy.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't know, it just gives me this energy to keep going and keep moving forward. And, I didn't come up with the vision by myself. I mean, you know, God gave that to me.
Yeah.
And for me not to lean into that would, because people need help. And not only do they need help, how can they take my experiences, right, and move forward faster? Because I can help them with that. And everybody is different. Everybody has different goals, and so part of that is what is your emotional intelligence? What? How do you focus? How do you? You can be so busy, but you're not really moving forward.
Mhm.
Sometimes you got to say no. And I was meeting with a young lady yesterday, and she says yes, yes, yes all the time, but she never takes time to take care of herself. And then I told her, I said, no is a complete sentence.
Yes.
Okay. You say yes and you stop. But when you say no, then you have to, qualify it, explain to people why you're saying no. Why do you need to really do that? And so part of that is helping individuals identify what it is that they want out of life, what impact they want to make, what legacy they want to leave, right? That's really what it's about. And we're going to go through these 12 weeks. It'll be 1 hour a week. And I think you owe it to yourself to give yourself 1 hour a week, right? And then you'll have a little homework and you're really going to get clear about what it is that you want to do and where you want to go and the impact you want to make.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, just as we start to wind down, I think that there's one thing I definitely want to cover. One thing that I've learned from you is, in all the conversations that we've had, I start laughing every time I think about it. And we were talking about this, I think, yesterday. In looking at things that are going on around you, one of the things you encourage me to do is read, investigate. If there are people involved, read the bio, find out. That's what you said. Find out who they are, right? And so, tell us why is that important in all of this that you're doing? Why is it so important to find out who it is that we are actually looking at, observing, or going to be working with? Why is that important?
Well, everybody has their opinion about things, right?
Hmm.
And it's okay to listen to that. But I always say go read for yourself, go investigate for yourself because you have only heard a piece of the story and it's been filtered,
Yeah.
right? And so, you know, I don't talk about politics with anyone, right? But at the end of the day, you need to go investigate for yourself and then make your own decision. I always say, give me the information and I'll decide for me, right?
Yes.
I will decide for me. And that's what I do. So it doesn't matter if it's work, it doesn't matter if it's politics, it doesn't matter what setting you're in. I think you should research, get the information, and then decide what's best for you and what's best for your family, what's best for your tribe, whatever, right? Because without complete information, you're not going to make the probably the best decision.
Gotcha. Yeah, I love that. I love that, Diann. So as we wind down and get ready to wrap up, and we are definitely in I Am Beautiful 2 Speak Up, I Can't Hear You virtual series about women who are transcending boundaries. What is one or two things you want to leave with the women today that are listening in or that are going to listen to the recording? What is it? What are those things that are most important to you that you would want to share in your message?
Be authentic to yourself, okay? Take some time, some quiet time. And you need to do that daily,
Yes.
30 minutes, a walk, something, whatever moves your spirit. You can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't need to feel guilty about it. Just carve it out and then just do it. As far as your career is concerned, you can accomplish anything, but you're going to have to put in the work and you're going to have to put in the time. So, Nisi, I'm not sure, Dr. Jenkins, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Listen, the thing I do, I don't want to leave this call because I know that it is Christ that lives in you, that keeps pushing you forward, that gives you the drive, that gives you the heart, the love, the determination, the message. He gives you everything that you are, and so I want just tell the women what your relationship with Christ has done for you, personally, professionally, and just because I know he's at the center of all this, so I can't leave him out. I gotta let you talk about him.
Well, what he's done for me, I believe God just, he speaks to us quietly. A lot of times we don't listen, right?
Mhm.
And I also recognize he gives us free will. And Nisi knows that I've shared with her a few things, given her insight into how I have dealt with my grief. Before my daughter passed, she and I were just extremely close, and she was an only child. And that was one of the things that she was worried about with me. And I said, I'm going to be okay. I just don't know how, but I know I will be. That's fate. I gave myself permission not to go through grief the way the world defines it.
Yes.
Whatever, however it showed up, I was going to own it and I was going to lean into it because I knew God had me, right?
Yes.
He had me. And I had enough faith to know that. And I didn't know, I said, it may be ugly. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm okay with that. But some of the things that I've shared with Nisi, Dee and I used to cloud watch. And so there have been these clouds that have shown up in the form of angels. That was the anniversary day of her death, a year later. I can tell you that weekend before, I was having an out loud conversation with God, just saying, this is all messed up. This is not how this is supposed to be. But I also acknowledged it wasn't about me, and I knew that, but it was still messed up, and I didn't like it one bit. And so then the day of her anniversary day, there was a cloud over my house, and I took a picture, and it was an angel. So
Yes.
that was confirmation for me that she was okay. And then just a couple of weeks ago, I sent Nisi another a picture of a cloud over my mom's house, and it was a clear day, no rain, and there was a very short rainbow, and then you could see that there was angels holding up that rainbow. And it was just phenomenal. And so God is all around us. There was a time when I was just having a really rough day and I walk out, it's winter. I'm looking at my flower garden, it's all dead. And there's this one flower that had popped up, bright freaking red. And I'm going, oh my God, that's Dee saying, Mom, I'm okay.
Yes.
And so, I believe that. And he shows us signs. They're all around us, but sometimes we just don't take the time to acknowledge it. And to me, that's very comforting. It really, really is. Brings me comfort, it brings me joy, and it helps me show up for other individuals when they need that help.
Wonderful, beautiful, beautiful. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Diann Smith sharing her. She is definitely an expert in C-suite. I know it. Now you know it. Join us because we're going to be continuing these conversations throughout the end of the year. And as my mind is growing and expanding, we'll move into 2021. My goal is that we leave 2020 with a little bit more than we have at this moment. We're learning, we're growing, learning is perpetual. So, join us as we continue next Saturday at 12 o'clock. I'm not going to tell you who my guest will be. Just join us. Just join us. I guarantee you it's going to be good because God is in it. So I look forward to our next time together. Again, thank you, Diann. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of our guests who chimed in today and joined us. Again, these are 30-minute segments. Hope you're coming with your notepads, writing down those words, those key terms, finding out about who is here to share a little bit of their life with you. Diann, if someone wants to reach out to you, how can they do that?
I would say Twitter or LinkedIn. My Twitter handle is at Diann H. Smith, and Diann is DIANN H SMITH. And so you should be able to also find me on LinkedIn. Um, so just message me. That
All
would
right.
be wonderful to connect with you.
Yes, as well as Facebook. So, but of course, we're on Facebook right now. If you need to hit her up, you can definitely do so. We're on live on my page, and I can get her the message as well. So, thank you all so much, and have a great Saturday. Go, grow, move forward in your life, progress, persist, do it, because God demands that of us. We should always be going from glory to glory. Thank you. I'm Dr. Nisa Jenkins, your host at I Am Beautiful 2.